Hello and welcome back to my channel. I got everything ready to record out here in the garage. I was gonna have the garage door open, and then as soon as I literally got the camera and everything set up, the next door neighbor's lawn people came to mow and trim. So I left the garage door down and I have this big light in here. So I hope that you'll be able to hear me okay. It should be fine. Everything's shut. I just, the lighting isn't great because I don't have the garage door open. So today, I just wanted to share something that we've been doing this for years, and since Matt had his knee replacement surgery, we've kind of skipped a season, and so we are getting ready to host our fall yard sale. And you guys know, if you have been here around for any amount of time, you know how much I love to yard sale and thrift, and there's certain things you need to do to have a really good yard sale and just to make it the best it can be. And so I'm going to go over those tips because I do get questions about, how we price things, how we, advertise for things or for the yard sales and all those kinds of things. And there are definitely going to yard sales for over a gajillion years, it feels like. There are so many things that it's like minor tweaks and things that you should be doing that's just going to make your yard sale so much better and much more worth you doing it. That did not make sense, but it's going to make it worth your while. So a lot of people say it's so much work and, but I've got a ton of stuff I want to get rid of. And you know me, I love to purge and organize. Like that's another one of my favorite things to do. And so I encourage other people to do that and to do it often. And so some people don't want to just give it to, Goodwill or whatever, and they actually want to make some money and host a yard sale, but they don't know where to start. They feel like it's just going to be too much work for what it's worth. And so I thought this video might be helpful to people with those questions. So first of all, you do need to make sure that you have enough stuff to make it worth having a sale. One table, it's just not worth it, right? But I do want to say, if you are in an area that has like citywide or townwide sales, if you only have a couple of items and they're advertising for you and there's going to be a ton of traffic through your town, city, wherever you live, for those sales, definitely, if you only have one table or two tables worth, it's definitely worth it then. But when you are, if you're going to pay for advertisement in like a local paper or something like that, you just want to make sure it's worth your while. So number one, you want to make sure that you have enough stuff. Next, I'm going to talk about pricing, and people will get, even I have family members and friends that are like, oh my gosh, I just don't even want to price all this stuff. I had a neighbor, I used to try to organize a street, we live on a dead end street. And so I would send out flyers and say, we'll do all the advertising. Like it'd just be so much more fun to have everybody get involved. And the neighbors used to get involved. And then one year, one of the guys that lived on our street, he said, I don't want to price everything. And I'm like, you don't have to. You do not have to price every single item. I do. When I have these sales, it's like setting up a little shop in our garage for a weekend. So it's super fun for me, but you do not have to do that. You can set up, different tables or by theme or category, just price it like that. So $1 table, a $2 table, a $5 table, or all books are 50 cents, all clothes are $1, all, let's just say dishes or dishware are 50 cents, whatever it is, by categories, do it that way. You can have then a cheat sheet. These are my notes, but you can have a cheat sheet then. You could even do it by color. Pink tags are 50 cents, green tags are $1, yellow tags are whatever. And then you could do it that way. And then you would make signs, like if it was in your garage, you would make signs everywhere so people knew pink was this. And then you could have one at your little checkout table so you know what you're doing as well. So the pricing, having to price everything, if that's your deal, like it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to price everything. I've also been to sales, which I don't love to shop at, so I discourage people from doing this. But I'm just not good at thinking on the fly, and our sales usually have a lot of people, and so I have to have it, kind of organized and upfront because it just gets busy. But if you're somebody that's like just wants to put your stuff together and then just kind of wheel and deal on that day, I've been to many sales where people do that. And if you are like open to doing that and don't have any issues with that, do that. Definitely do that. So there are other ways to price things, or to, I guess price things that it doesn't have to be overwhelming where you're having to tag every little thing. With talking about tags, so you can get, I only have, let's see, do I have, yes I do. You can get already, so you don't even have to write them down. You can get tags that already have prices on them. You know, they're 50 cents, where they're already printed on there. But if you are having multiple people bring stuff to your sale, so it's not just your stuff, you may have, you know, family members that bring stuff, assign a color to each family that's bringing something. So all white tags are Susie's, all blue tags are, you know, Mike's, all, you know what I mean? So everybody has a color, and then that makes it a lot easier. But if this is your first time, I would tell you, don't let anybody bring other stuff. If you had to build up what you had and you needed some more stuff, then maybe, but otherwise for your first time, just make it all yours, and then it'll just be a lot easier. You're not having to write down how much Susie got out of that sale, how much Mike got, and how much you got. Just have it be all yours. Now, you can definitely use, you know, like a painter's tape, a masking tape. Do not use duct tape. Do not use duct tape to price your items. I don't care if it's clothes, books, a frame. Don't use duct tape or a really strong tape, because it's going to ruin whatever the people are buying, and people aren't going to buy it because they know it's going to be ruined. So if you're thinking about, you don't want to invest in like, you know, stickers, which you can get them at the dollar store sometimes. Walmart is where we usually pick these up. But then just use painter's tape or a masking tape, and then you can write down, you know, the price on that, and then stick it on the item. Some items, you know, books and things, you know, especially older books, or something where if you take the tag off, it could ruin the cover or the whatever it is. Some vintage items, if you put a little bit, even these little, you know, stickers that don't have a really strong tape or sticky side, if you pull it off, it's going to rip right in that circle. So definitely just be aware of that and where you're sticking it, which is why I like to always buy these too. And so every time we have a sale, I always have these. Now, this is what I use to price any clothes we have. But then I also will use them for, let me see, what do I have here? So, okay, so like here's a coffee mug. So anything where I can tie these around, and they're so easy. You just tie them within themselves. Does that make sense? So anything that I can add these to, I do. So I have them on anything that's got like a handle or top, or I will use safety pins as well if I need to like put it on a throw pillow or something, because a sticker is not really going to stay on a throw pillow. So try, if you're using, this is another tip, if you're using the safety pin on clothes or on throw pillows, pin it to the tags or somewhere that's kind of inconspicuous, so it's not like you're not going to put a big hole in something like, you know, in the front of a shirt, or, you know, a big hole in the front of a throw pillow. Be mindful of where you're sticking those safety pins. But I always have these on hand too, because I love to use these to tag things as well. If you have other people in, like, you know, so Susie, I don't know what I said, but Susie is going to be yellow tags. So you could have her use these as well, and then just put the yellow sticker on it. So then you can, I think they probably have these in different colors. I always get the white tags, but I'm sure they do. I don't know. But, so that's just another option and another way that you can do it and keep it separate. Okay, pricing. Here's something we need to remember. It's a yard sale, right? So a yard sale needs to have yard sale prices. If you have been going to the thrift stores, you know they're crazy. Your prices need to be a lot less than a thrift store nowadays. Your goal with having a yard sale is to get rid of everything and make a little bit of money on the side, right? So don't overprice your items, because you're going to have them all left over then, and they're not going to go. So the goal is you're having a yard sale, and everything needs to be yard sale prices. Okay, here is the biggest tip, and one of the biggest things that I just cannot, it's like one of the worst things you see at a yard sale. If you have something that's worth money and you want to price it what you're finding people sell it on eBay, do not print off that eBay listing and put it on your item to show people, well, on eBay, it's $100. If you're going to do that, go put it on eBay then. Go through all the work of putting it on eBay and listing it and shipping it and, having that, pay all the fees and everything. Do not do a yard sale thinking that your prices should look like what people are selling things on eBay. It's two different things. So let's separate those. If you think an item is, too much and you don't want to sell it at your yard sale for less, then you need to start looking into selling it on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or somewhere else. Do not put what eBay is selling it for at your yard sale. It's going to turn away so many people. And at a yard sale, people aren't coming looking for eBay prices. So when you, sorry, somebody was calling. So when you are selling on eBay, you have people from, obviously your audience is massive, right? And so, there's a certain person coming to look for that $100 item, whatever it is. Your yard sale, it's local. You have local people coming, and they can't, they're not there to buy that one item and looking for that. So if you want to go look to see what people are selling items up on eBay, then you need to sell on eBay. Do not do that at your yard sale. Okay, if you can tell I'm a little passionate about that. It's just one of my, I don't understand why people do that at yard sales. Okay, but again, remember pricing. So you're at yard sale prices, right? So setting up. So when you are setting up, you don't want to just leave, I'm sorry, it's getting a little bit louder. I can hear, I think they're blowing. So you don't want to leave things in a bunch of boxes where people are having to dig through things. People are not going to dig through things. So you want to have everything displayed. I'm not saying, I like to set it up so it looks like a shop, and this is not like set up really yet. I have to move things around. It's just as I'm pricing things, I'm setting them in different things. But I literally like it to look like a little shop. I play music. I light a candle. Like it is, I play shop when we have sales. You don't have to do that. But just make sure that everything is kind of, it's organized by item, so all your books are here. Unless you're setting it up like a shop, sometimes you have like, let's say bookends or something where you might have a couple of books, in there, like vintage books and that, but then maybe you have kids books somewhere else. But if you're not doing it like that, which is totally fine, if that's not going to make or break your sale, just have it organized. All the books are here. All the men's clothes are here. All the women's clothes are here. All the shoes are here. And like for clothing, men's and women's, like have them labeled so people know exactly where to go. Tables, think of tables, but if you don't have a ton of tables, you don't want to go rent tables. We have used sawhorses, and we have, open them or whatever, and then just put like a piece of plywood across the top. And then we have like old tablecloths and stuff that we will use just to make it look a little more pretty. But again, you don't have to do that. Just don't leave things. I've been to so many sales where it's like, everything's just in boxes. And here's another thing. Like this is a topic that I could go on and on about. If you have any questions, or please leave them in the comments, because I know I'm going to forget some things. And I know some other questions are going to come up. So please leave them in the comments, and I will get to them. If your sale starts at 8, make sure your sale is ready and open and ready at 8. Ready and open and ready. Don't open at 8 and it's all still in boxes. Things aren't priced. Oh, I'm just getting around to it, or I'm just setting up. People are coming at 8 to shop. So it should be set up and ready to go at 8. And ready to go, I mean, everything's out of the boxes and it's displayed or just set out so people aren't having to dig through stuff. Okay. Signage. This is a huge one. And every time we have a sale, we will have at least 10 people say, thank you for your signs. I don't have my signs down yet, right now. So basically, you want to make your signs, the wording, big. You don't want to have somebody have to stop at a corner and try and read the address or read an arrow, or make your signs, good size. Make them bright. Make the lettering bold black letters so people can see. The arrows need to be big and bold and black. And they need to give a map to the people where to go. So if you have, you want to put signs on your more busier roads or whatever, but yet if they turn off that road, when they get to the next road or the next whatever intersection, there needs to be another sign and another sign and another sign until they get to your yard or your driveway. There needs to be signs at every turning point, every next street, every whatever. The more signs, the better. If you think you have too many signs, you don't. Sometimes they'll blow over. Sometimes people will pick them up depending on when you set them out. We usually like to do it the morning of, so then no kids are picking them up or anything the night before and moving them around. But you need to have big, bold signs, arrows, and the address on your signs. You don't necessarily have to say time. And if your signs are out, your sale should be open. Which is going to bring me to the next thing. When your sale is over, go and pick up every single one of your signs, every single one. If you have to write down what corner you have all your signs at, do that please, because please go pick up your signs. We have, it'll be like a random Saturday and we'll find signs and they're old signs from weeks ago. Pick up your signs when your sale is done. So if your signs are up, your sale is open and ready to go. Okay. Ads. So now it depends on where you live and how you do this. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist are free, obviously, and people look there all the time. You may have local, Facebook groups or something that you should definitely be posting them on. Do you have a local newspaper where people put yard sale ads? Again, you don't want to put in a $50 ad if you have one table of stuff, right? So you definitely want to make sure you have enough stuff, but you want your ads to grab the customer you want to come. So if you have no kids clothes, no kids toys, nothing, don't put anything kid related in your ad. Or you can even say no kids clothes, no toys, this, this is just a home decor sale, furniture, home decor, whatever. You want to use keywords, and just in your description, you want to put the things that your ideal customer, the person that you want to come in and be like, oh my gosh, I want to buy it all. Who is that? What are they looking for? What do you have? Those are the kinds of things you want to put in your ad. You also want to put in your address, and you also want to put in the day, time, date. It depending on, if you're putting in an ad on Tuesday, you want to say Saturday, September, whatever, 9 to 4, whatever. But all of those things need to be in your ad. Sorry. That was weird. Okay. So, another supply that you might want to have, I use them a lot actually, are Ziploc bags. So I use the gallon, and then I sometimes use just the sandwich size bag. So if you have, of course I don't have anything right here. If you have here a bunch of things, so a bunch of little things, these are a bunch of craft things. These are colored pencils, little craft wood balls, chalk, stickers. Put them all together in a bag like this, and then just put a price on them. The Ziploc bags, people can see through them, right? So they're clear. That you don't want to put it in a dark bag where nobody knows what's inside. So you want to keep the bags clear. Another thing is when we had toys, when the kids were younger, and there would be little toys, little figurines or something, and I would put bags of those together, I would sometimes, most all the time, tape, like use packaging tape over the top of this. So they can still see what's in it, but little kids can't just open it and then you're not gonna find toys everywhere. That was my son. So you're not gonna find toys, you know, everywhere around your garage. So definitely you want to tape the top if it's something like, you know, something like this, you know, the kids aren't going to, but if there's something you don't want little hands or, you know, people to open and, you know, grab one thing out and say, will you just sell this? Tape it. Use like packaging tape to tape over it so then nobody can open it, but yet they can still see what's inside. Okay. I think that's it. I don't want to overwhelm you because having sales, we have so much fun with it. We have like an email list of people that want to come early. So we open up early for them. Like I said, it is like having a shop for me on the weekend without having overhead and, you know, having to run a big shop, but I still get to kind of have fun decorating and putting things together. They're worth it. They are worth having. They are a little bit of work. I've given you some tips to make them not so much work and not so overwhelming. But just try it. Try and do. Let me know if you have any other questions too, or any other, like if you want some other tips or ideas or whatever. Another thing I should say, if you are on like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, those kinds of places where you can add photos, photograph your best items, right? Photograph the things, the hot items that you know people are going to come for. But don't show your entire sale. That's another huge tip. I will see people on Facebook Marketplace literally walk around their sale, like in a short video, up and down every other table. And I don't have to come to your sale. I don't have to come to your sale at all because I just got to shop it from my couch, right? So you want to take pictures of those really cool items that you have that you know a lot of people, you know, like or are looking for, but not the whole. You don't want to show the entire sale because then they don't have to come. So definitely keep that in mind as well if you are advertising on those areas, at those places. So let me know if you have any other questions. I tried to write down the biggest tips that I see people do or not do. And it's just, like I said, it's totally worth it as long as you're doing it right. And, you know, doing these things will definitely help you have a successful sale. And who knows, you may even like it. It's so much fun for me. We have a lot of fun doing it, and we haven't had one in this will be a year, and we usually have one in spring and summer. So I'm kind of excited to move this stuff out. That's another thing. You're going to get people that will want to negotiate with you. It's a yard sale. Negotiate. Your goal is for all of this stuff to go. And another thing for you, those of you that like to keep things and hoard things, but yet you're sick of your house being full of stuff. As soon as the sale's over, we back up the car and we take everything and take it and donate it. Nothing's coming back. These are all things you want to get rid of or you're not wearing anymore or don't fit or doesn't, you know. So that's the goal. So don't put anything back in the house and don't just put it in boxes in the garage. You want to get rid of it and go donate it. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. If this was helpful, share the video. I always love when you share the video. It helps us so much. Make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell. We are launching new videos every single week. And until next time, I hope you have a great day and I'll talk to you very soon.